All right, guys. All right. Norway versus Ivory Coast. Going to be a fun one. This is a very tough game to call. Two very good teams that have performed very well. I think this is going to be a really tight game, and I'm very curious to see who's going to win this one. Erling Braut Haaland trying to lead Norway versus Yann Diomande's Ivory Coast. Well, Yann Diomande and Nicolas Pepe. How are you guys doing today? Who do you think's going to win? Let's get a poll going, and you guys can answer it in the chat. It's like a non-stop celebration of soccer, right? Every day, multiple games. All right, put in the chat who you think is going to win today. I'm feeling good, American Auto. Thank you. Got a pretty decent night's sleep, and just excited to get up and watch more World Cup soccer. We're going to get into the starting lineups here. Make sure you hit the like button, guys, in case you have not already. Let's get the likes for this stream up. Hopefully, YouTube can continue to push these streams so more people can find us. All right, let's take a look here at the starting lineups for both teams. All right, for Norway, you have Ørjan Haxold Nyland from Sevilla, their goalkeeper. At right back, they have Marcus Holmgren Pedersen from Torino, which I think is quite interesting. No Ryerson today. Møller Wolf from Wolves is the left back, and the center back partnership is Christopher Ajer from Brentford and Torbjorn Hegem from Bologna. Their double pivot is Sander Berge from Fulham and Patrick Berg from Champions League surprise package Bodo Glimt. Martin Odegaard, the captain, and of course the attacking midfielder from Arsenal, Alexander Sorloth from Atletico Madrid on the right, and Antonio Nusa from RB Leipzig on the left. And of course, up top is Erling Haaland from Manchester City. For Ivory Coast, Yahya Fofana is the goalkeeper from Rizespor in Turkey. On the left, they have Ghislaine Konan from Hill Vicente. And on the right, they have Guela Due from Strasbourg. The center backs are Odilon Kusunu from Atalanta and Emmanuel Agbadu from Besiktas. In midfield, they have Christ Inau Ulai from Trabzonspor and Ibrahim Sangare from Nottingham Forest. And then the captain, Frank Kessie from Al Ahly in midfield. On the left, of course, is RB Leipzig's Yann Diomande. Up top is Ange Joan Boni from Inter Milan. And next to him is Nicolas Pepe from Villarreal. Norway seems to be the favorites, according to this poll. 71% saying Norway going to win, and 29% saying Ivory Coast is going to win. All right, guys. Who do you want to win? I think this is a very tough game to call. Both teams have showed really well in the group stage. Both teams have quality players. Both teams are tactically very astute. Norway has a little bit more rest because they rested their players against France, and Ivory Coast did not. They did beat Germany. No, they didn't beat Germany. I'm sorry. That was Ecuador. They played Curacao in their final game. They're both good teams. It's kind of sucks that one of them has to go home this early in the tournament. But it is what it is. It is what it is, guys. We'll see what happens. Hopefully this one doesn't go to extra time and penalties. I feel like we're extra time and penaltied out from yesterday. Both teams feel like they are capable of an upset. Yeah, and I don't think it would be an upset if either team won. I think these teams are very close. Kind of like Netherlands and Morocco. Two very close teams. Norway played France in their last game and got smoked. Yes, but they rested everybody the same way we did, right? We rested everyone against Turkey and lost. So did Norway. It hasn't been good for European teams in the knockouts so far. No, it has not. Let's see if Norway can buck the tide. Knife says, if Norway win, then they are the dark horse. If Ivory Coast win, then they have a great defense. Yeah, they both have good defenses, and they're both dark horses in this tournament. Africa has shown really, really well so far in this tournament. They've already, although South Africa lost, right? But Morocco won. 9 out of 10 African teams made the knockouts, guys. That's an incredible record. Incredible record. But South Africa out and Morocco in. So we'll see if Ivory Coast can keep the good vibes going for AFCON teams. And we'll see if Norway can buck the trend of UEFA teams not doing great at all in these knockouts. Yeah, Tunisia did not do so well. They were the only African team not to make the knockouts. I heard Netherlands are putting in a complaint to remove the post. Norway need to be able to contain Diomande if they want to win. Well, not just Diomande, Nicolas Pepe too. Have a good breakfast, scrambled eggs. I haven't eaten breakfast yet. I usually don't eat this early in the morning. I usually let my body slowly come to life, my digestive system. I'll have coffee in the morning, and then usually I'll have breakfast around 10. But I have the stream, so I'll have breakfast afterwards. Score prediction, I have this 1-1 in regular time and Norway winning 2-1 in overtime. Norway played in New York, New Jersey 94 World Cup. They were a team who was just happy to be at the tournament, says teacher Eugene. I think they have the same mentality. Ivory Coast is hungry. They're here to win, and Norway is here to play. I don't know. I mean, I think they've got a good enough team that they should be more than just happy to be at the tournament. UEFA team guaranteed to be out next match. Almost certainly Sweden, or that would be a huge shock. Yeah, Sweden, I can't see them getting past France. But, well, one of those two will go through, so that's at least one UEFA team. Let's see what Norway does today. Mexico versus Ecuador is going to be fire. Yes, it is. And then tomorrow we face Bosnia with a chance to beat a UEFA team for the first time since, I think, 2023. Yeah, 2023. We actually was the last team we beat was Bosnia in one of those Camp Cupcake friendlies. We won 1-0 with a Cole Bassett goal. Actually, it wasn't. Yeah, it was Camp Cupcake. Scared for the USA. Hope they can manage it. I don't think you should be scared. I mean, we're the favorites. We have the better players. We're going to have to play very well, of course. And we're going to have to be really focused and really sharp because all the pressure is on us. There's no pressure on Bosnia. If they go home, nobody will blame them. So they're playing with house money, right? If they lose, they'll go, all right, well, we were expected to lose. No big deal. If they win, they're kings of the world. If the US win, it's like, all right, job done. You're supposed to do that. Well done. Let's move forward. And if we lose, it's a disaster, an absolute disaster. So let's see what happens, guys. What's up, Pete? J-Car, how you doing? Should be a good match because Norway's philosophy is a good offense is the best defense. Yeah. Yeah, Norway's a very good team, and they're a fun team to watch, too. I think I want Norway to advance just because of all the UEFA teams, Norway and Scotland were the only two I was really rooting for to go far, and Scotland's out. So the only UEFA team that left that I like is Norway. But they're not playing in their blue red Norwegian flag jerseys today. They're in all white. Pete, who you got for the Mexico game? That one's going to be very tight. I think Ecuador just squeezes past Mexico. But you never know. Mexico could surprise us. No goals conceded so far. What's your confidence level out of 10 for the Bosnia game? 8. I think Poch has the boys very focused. He won't let them be looking ahead. He'll have them very, very focused. But anything can happen, and our defense has not truly been tested. Our first choice defense has not truly been tested yet. So I give us an 8 out of 10 with some concerns about Bosnia's height and physicality from set pieces and long throws, and also just a little bit of questions about our mentality going into this game. And when the pressure is on, can we deliver? I know we've had 2 World Cup games so far, but this team has in the past been mentally very, very fragile. And I think they're going to have to be very mentally tough today. They're going to have to be very tough today mentally. Oh, I got to send the link to TAC here. Game has started, by the way. We're in the first minute. Norway versus Ivory Coast, guys. Send TAC the link and he'll hop on. Hopefully his eye's feeling a little better. TAC, I sent you the link on X. Norway coming in early. Ivory Coast clears, but Norway win it back. Mactical Tanager, I asked for the link 20 times. Keep asking. See if you can hit 100 before the end of the World Cup. Pete, are we ready for USA to develop stronger players in the next 4 years? Yes, absolutely we are. Absolutely we are. And I think we will. There's some very promising young players coming through the pipeline. Pete, does Germany losing to Paraguay make our win look better? Yes and no. I don't think Paraguay played us the same way they played Germany. I mean, they tried, right? They certainly did a lot of the same things, but the spacing between Paraguay's lines, and I broke this down on the Patreon, guys, after the USA Paraguay game in the breakdown. I broke down where Paraguay left way too much space between their lines. And look, it was the first game of the tournament. They were obviously still working on some stuff. And I think they were very surprised by the intensity and speed at which the U.S. attacked them. Header for Haaland, but it's blocked. But as teams go on, they can get better. That's why we shouldn't be underestimating Bosnia. They could improve as the tournament goes on. And Paraguay definitely did. Definitely did. So we cannot take Bosnia lightly. And I still think some people are underestimating Bosnia a little bit, who have nothing to play for. The tournament knockouts is not like the group stage, guys. It is all or nothing. Everyone's playing extra hard. It's very difficult. We've already had 2 upsets so far. There could absolutely be more. I don't think we can afford to look past Bosnia, especially because we have nothing. We have nothing. I mean, we have good players, but historically, what have we done? Right? We aren't even a team like Germany or the Netherlands, right? We have not earned our place in the world's footballing elite. We're still plucky underdogs trying to make a case for ourselves. We might be dark horses, but dark horses can't act like champions because then you stop being dark horses and all of a sudden you get shell-shocked. Long ball from Norway. Norway definitely the early protagonists here. Having most of the possession, doing most of the attacking. All right, Ivory Coast with a quick counter here. Good tackle by Norway. That'll be a corner. Corner for Ivory Coast. Oh no, it came off. What's his name? Bonnie. It came off Bonnie. That's a goal kick for Norway. Why is everyone predicting Norway to win? I feel like Ivory Coast has a more balanced team overall with a very dangerous attack. I think it's very close. I could see either of these teams winning. Nobody is the clear favorite in this game. Yes, hit the like button, guys. Norway summoning Odin. All right, Norway attacking down the left. I wonder why Julian Ryerson's not playing today. Excuse me. All right. How big would 3 CONCACAF teams in the round of 16 be for us? I mean, it would be good for sure. It would be impressive. But, round of 16 is still early days. It's still early days. So I think it would be impressive for sure. But, Canada and the US are facing relatively weak opponents, so we can't get too excited. If Mexico beats Ecuador, that would be excellent for them. But, 3 home teams, we have to see which one of them can any one of them make a deep run. Time will tell. Here comes Ivory Coast trying to build something here. Morocco will defeat Canada. Yeah, I mean, I'd be very, very surprised if Canada wins that game. To be honest, if Morocco played us, they would still be the favorites. They would still be the favorites. So they're definitely the favorites against Canada. But upsets happen, guys. Upsets happen. Ivory Coast doing a nice little combination play in front of Norway's box. Cross for Ivory Coast. Headed out. Ivory Coast still have it on the right side. Pepe driving into the box. Tackled. Still has the ball. I mean, having Alphonso Davies and Moise Bombito. Ooh, good cross. Cleared. Excellent, excellent block by Hegem there. Ivory Coast have a corner. Doyle with Nan says, I think Canada actually matches up decently on Morocco. Depending on odds, I'll be putting a small amount of money on Canada, especially if Marsh figures out he needs to start Laren. Yeah, I think also having Bombito and Alphonso Davies back will be a massive help to Canada. Pierluigi Collina. This dude doesn't age. He doesn't age at all. I remember him reffing the 2002 World Cup final between Brazil and Germany. That was 24 years ago, and he still looks exactly the same. Is this guy not age or what? Long ball into the box. Ivory Coast can't get on it, and it will end up as a Norway corner. I actually don't think Germany was that good in that World Cup. They rode all the way to the final on Michael Ballack goals. They won every game 1-0. They had Oliver Kahn basically saving their asses. And the U.S. should have had a penalty against Germany in that quarterfinal. Greg Berhalter's header was cleared off the line by Torsten Frings' arm. So who knows what could have happened. I mean, they probably still would have won the shootout because they had freaking Oliver Kahn. But we had Brad Friedel, who was very good back then. He was very good. Goal kick from Norway, trying to head it down. Haven't seen the ball really get to Erling Haaland at all. No, Germany got to that final based on Michael Ballack and Oliver Kahn. Rest of that team was actually very mediocre. They sort of flattered to deceive there in that one. They had Michael Ballack and Oliver Kahn who carried that team all the way to the final, and then it was too much in the final against one of the best, definitely the best Brazil team I've ever seen. Rivaldo, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Cafu, Roberto Carlos, Roberto. Oh, Norway almost creating something for Haaland, but Ivory Coast clears. Been a fairly even game so far. Trading turns, having possession, and trying to create with nobody creating anything so far, 11 minutes in. Hey, Pete, what's up? Currently watching your stream while at work. Well, awesome. Awesome. Welcome. Who would you say is the best U.S. goalkeeper of all time? Friedel, Miola, Keller, or Howard? I still have to give it to Tim Howard. For me, Tim Howard was still the best. After that was Brad Friedel, and then Casey Keller. I wasn't really around for Tony Miola, to be honest, for his career. So it's hard for me to judge him because I wasn't there for a lot of his career. But I still think Howard was number one. Good ball onto the left. Norway fouled. Ref says play on. They lose the ball. Ivory Coast has a chance now. All right, down the right. Cross goes in. Oof. Poor touch, and it goes straight to the keeper. Does Howard's takes as a pundit lessen your opinion on him? Not as a player. As a player, he was great. As a pundit, I have so little respect for him. Same goes for Landon Donovan. Same goes for Casey Keller, for Brian McBride, for all of these guys, right? It's so disappointing to see these once great men become sniveling little shills for the establishment. So disappointing. Clint Dempsey's actually good as a commentator. He's one of the few commentators I can actually stand to watch. Clint Dempsey's pretty good. The rest of them, even like Charlie Davies, Jimmy Conrad, all the same nonsense. Also, Clint Dempsey feels like he doesn't really care what anyone thinks. He just says what he thinks and then he goes fishing. Does not care. Ooh, ref says play on. Yann Diomande blocked. Corner for, and Herc. I don't always agree with Herc, but he's a very good pundit. Herc and Clint Dempsey. Yann Diomande takes it. Norway clears. Oh, yeah, Beasley. I like Beasley too. DeMarcus Beasley is good. Cross. Oh, Diomande's in. That's tough. That's a tough ball to control. Goal kick for Norway. Digital HD Technology says, I hope more people get on Patreon. If there's enough people on Patreon, Pete can do this full time. Yeah, 100%, guys. Check out the Patreon. We're going to have the breakdown for USA Bosnia. It's the next video that's coming up. Link is in the description if you want to check it out. It really helps to support the channel. 16 minutes, 0-0. Do you think Poch will stay after the World Cup? Honestly, I have no idea, guys. I mean, I would be surprised if he stays. If I had to bet money on it, I would say no, but who knows? Who really knows? Ivory Coast having a lot of the ball now. Building well out of the back. Had some interesting final third entries, but haven't really created anything. Oh, poor touch, but Ivory Coast recover it. Starting to build up a real head of steam here, Cote d'Ivoire. Pepe on the right. Pepe, 1v1. Oh, so close. That's out. Goal kick. I feel like our games is going to hit pens tomorrow. Just have this sinking feeling. Yeah, the nerves surrounding a game, a knockout game where you're the favorites and expected to win is always tough, guys. It's always tough. But that's part of tournament football. You've got to deal with it. Crunch that stomach acid and wait for the game. Are we going to do a tailgate stream tomorrow? We're going to definitely do a live watch along. Well, we have England versus Dr. Congo tomorrow morning. And then we also have Belgium versus Senegal. Ah, man, that's going to be a tough day. Belgium versus Senegal could be our opponent. Well, one of them could be our opponent if we win. So we'll see, guys. We'll see. I'm going to try to do all three, but the problem is that US game days are a lot of work because we go live for an hour with TAC, and then we do the stream, right, or the game, 2 hours. I hop in and out for that, and then we do a post game for 1 hour. So that's 4 hours right there. If I try to do all three streams that day, I'm going to be cooked. By the time I get to USA Bosnia, I'm not going to have an ounce of energy left. And believe it or not, these streams take a lot of energy, especially emotional energy for the US. Because not just an analyst, I'm a fan. So my feelings, my emotions, the passion, the fear, the all of the different things that come up when you're a fan still come up for me. And I have to try to calm myself down and find equilibrium so I can analyze. Because it's very hard to analyze when you're too emotional. $12-hour stream. But you always leave during the US games. Yeah, I go in and out during the actual game, but watching it is still. Do you know how hard it is to watch a game where you're a diehard fan, but you have to try to constantly calm yourself so you can analyze the game rationally? It's a lot. Oh, Ivory Coast. Shot. Ooh, side netting. Side netting. That was close. That was close, Ivory Coast. Ooh, he beats his man a little bit too easily, to be honest. The keeper had the near post covered, but Ivory Coast testing the waters. Pete, Germany has had great players and great coaches, but have failed 3 World Cups in a row. What's the issue with the DFB? I'll be honest, I don't know. There's no reason with the player pool that they have for Germany to be that bad, right? Like, I don't really know why. They've had good coaches, they have good players. Sure, maybe not World Cup winning players necessarily, but they should be doing a lot better than they are. I don't know if it's a mentality thing, if it's a fear thing, if it's a lack of passion. It's very hard to say. I don't keep track so much of the German national team, so I can't give you a really educated answer. I'm a little bit baffled as well. Pausa de hydration coming up. The memories mean more than winning, but then again, I'm an England fan. I gotta say that, lol. Man, being an England fan's gotta really suck. There's just so much talent, so few trophies to point to. It's a mental thing. They never had the intensity, at least in 26. Yeah, but it wasn't just in the Euros, it was poor, right? In the last World Cup, they got grouped. In the World Cup before that, they got grouped. I think they're going to go get Jurgen Klopp. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to throw the bag at Jurgen Klopp. And if Jurgen Klopp accepts, then I think if anybody can turn that German team around, it's Jurgen Klopp. Oh, that's a foul. No? That's got to be a foul on Diomande. Yes, that's a foul for sure. Sangare and Kessie. Diomande literally burst past him. Yes, he barged into his path. That's a foul. That's a foul. It's because the Bundesliga is flawed and not competitive. That's an interesting take, Misael. That might be part of it, right? These guys are at a lot of them are at Bayern, and they're used to just winning every game almost, and constantly being on top of the world. And maybe they don't have that week in, week out fight for dominance, right? But then by that logic, France should have the same problem. A lot of their players play for PSG. France should have the same problem by that logic. So I don't know if it's really that. That might be a small part of it. If Poch doesn't stay, who are your top candidates to take over? I mean, my top candidate, as unrealistic as it may be, is Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp would be incredible. After that, it's hard to say. A lot of the good coaches have jobs right now. I definitely don't want an MLS coach. If we have to go with an MLS coach, which I don't think we do, BJ Callahan would be the only one I would maybe be okay with. But I think we should aim higher, guys. We have to raise our standards of what we expect from this federation and this team. So I would love Jurgen Klopp. I doubt we would get him. But when I look around at top coaches in the world, feels like there's a lot of good coaches that all have jobs. Even the best American coach currently has a job at Real Sociedad who he's not going to leave. Pellegrino Matarazzo, maybe at some point. But Matarazzo's not leaving Sociedad, guys. He just got there 6 months ago. He won the Copa del Rey. I don't think he's going anywhere. And if I look around, I don't see a coach that I'm like, that's a clear candidate. Do you guys? Do you guys have any thoughts? Who do you think we could get realistically? And realistic means like Pochettino is realistic. right? Zidane's probably going to take over France. Didier Deschamps? I don't think so. I don't think he would go from France to that. Definitely not Bielsa, guys. Definitely not Bielsa. Please no. Not Jesse Marsh. Jesse Marsh has too much beef with the Federation, and he also signed a new contract with Canada before the World Cup. I think BJ needs a move to Europe to prove himself. Yeah, the problem is that MLS coaches don't get opportunities as much abroad. And more recently, they've tried, right? What's his name from Columbus got the job at Celtic and then failed miserably, by the way. Failed miserably. So badly. They had to bring back ancient Martin O'Neill, who still outcoached him and outperformed him. Right? And then Eric Ramsey went from Minnesota to West Brom and he couldn't even last 20 games. So what that is going to do is the reputation of MLS coaches goes in the mud even more. So now they're even less likely to, get to go after an MLS coach. But look, even if it's a low level, go prove yourself, right? Ancelotti would be good. Guys, we're not getting Ancelotti. Ancelotti's already signed a new contract with Brazil after the World Cup. Sam Allardyce, get out of here. You know who's wildly available that might actually consider it? Who I don't want, though? Gareth Southgate. David Moyes? Isn't David Moyes still coaching? Isn't he coaching West Ham? I don't know about David Moyes. Very old school coach. Jason Christ. Oh, can you imagine? Oh, my God. Not Steve. Guys, please, with this nonsense. No MLS coaches, please. Yes, Southgate is just the English Greg. Roy Hodgson? Oh, can you imagine? How old is Roy Hodgson now? He's got to be like 82. 82 years old. Yeah, no more dinosaur coaches, please. Can we get a modern coach? Also a coach with maybe a little bit of something to prove. Oh, Ivory Coast. Cleared. Why did he try to knock that back? He should have volleyed that on goal. Pepe, put your laces through that. You were so close. Great little cross from Diomande. Excellent switch. Dude, put your laces through that. There was nobody in the 6-yard box. Joachim Low. You know what's weird about Joachim Low? He hasn't done anything. Since he left Germany in 2018? Was it after the 2018 World Cup? He hasn't done anything. He's gone nowhere. Not a club coach, not a national team coach. Maybe he just doesn't want to coach. Steve McLaren. Oh, my God. Steve McLaren. Oh, in behind. No. Ivory Coast are knocking. Westy almost got on the end of that. Guys, Michael Bradley has been a professional coach in MLS for all of 3 months. Let's please chill on Michael Bradley. He has proven nothing. Guy needs at least 4 or 5 more years of coaching experience before he should even be in consideration. And frankly, if he doesn't leave MLS, he shouldn't be in consideration at all. I don't think we should be just looking to MLS coaches. You want to play with the best in the world. You want to compete. You can't be trying to hire MLS coaches. You've got to go look in the pool of the best in the world. And credit to JT Batson. He said that recently. He said, we believe that to be a world-class organization, we have to bring in world-class personnel. And that includes the position of our men's national team head coach. Sir Alex. Oh, can you imagine? Guys, Sir Alex would not be the move. Sir Alex is more of an old school manager. He's not really a tactics guy. At all. Oftentimes he had his assistants doing tactics for him. He had that Portuguese fellow who went and coached Iran, who was his assistant most of the time and actually did most of the tactics. Alex Ferguson was really more of an old school manager. Arnie Slot, I mean, It's hard with Arne Slot because he's only had one gig so far and it didn't go well. So we don't really have a lot of data on Arne Slot. Arsene Wenger. Oh, can you poor Arsene? Guys, he's like 83 years old. Can we let the poor man live his happy retirement? What, you want to get Arbeloa? Again, too small of a data sample. Too small of a data sample. Arbeloa was a coach for like 3 months. Arteta, guys, be serious. You're not going to get Arteta. He just won the Premier League with Arsenal. He's not going anywhere. Thomas Christensen? Could interview him. Mika Richards. Xabi Alonso went to Chelsea, guys. Xabi Alonso went to Chelsea. Thierry Henry was one of the worst ever coaches ever. Thierry Henry couldn't even be successful in MLS, guys. He failed with Montreal. Let's be so serious. Thierry Henry is not a coach. He's a good pundit. He's not a coach. Hansi Flick is at Barcelona. He's not going anywhere. Sven-Göran Eriksson is dead. He died of cancer. What do you mean, Sven-Göran Eriksson? Poor guy. Let him rest in peace. Nagelsmann, after this failure from Germany, I don't know, guys. Do we really want Nagelsmann? Pete, if you had to interview 3 coaches, which 3 are you interviewing? I think, any coach in the world? Any coach in the world? For me, it would be Klopp, Pep, and Materazzo. Those would be my 3. Maybe we should just bring back Pochettino. Give him a blank check. Liam Rosenwa. Oh, God, no. Jose Mourinho was at that UFC White House fight. Yeah, but Jose took over at Real Madrid. Oh, here comes Ivory Coast. Diomande out for a corner. Ruben Amorim went to AC Milan, guys. Jose Mourinho was at that. Yeah, Jose took over at Real Madrid. Oh, Tack is here.
Hey.
We're talking about potential coaches for the next cycle if Pochettino leaves. And you look around, right? If you're trying to get an elite coach, a lot of the good elite coaches already have jobs that they're not going to want to leave.
Yeah, I'm okay with us waiting a bit if it requires getting the right coach. By waiting a bit, I mean you need to have someone by next summer. And during this time, this 1 year, you put a coach that'll bring in young talent, start testing a few guys.
But who? Like, who would be the interim then?
You wouldn't be able to get BJ as an interim, right? He wouldn't do that.
No, he wouldn't leave Nashville to be an interim.
Not an interim, yeah. But I wouldn't hate BJ, but we need to go big. We need to
need to go big again. Like, BJ also has no experience as a head coach outside MLS. I mean, I know he has very few games with the national team, but it's also in CONCACAF. We're talking about world-level experience. Brian Schmetzer, hell no. You want Brian Schmetzer, you're going to get Christian Roldan, Paul Arriola, and Jordan Morris.
Guys. If he's okay with it, I wouldn't mind like Hugo Perez taking a 1-year interim job.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't mind Hugo Perez either.
Just a year. I think he can work with young guys. He knows U.S. soccer. He'd probably bring a lot of young guys. Just tell him what the plan is. Like, Hugo, obviously call up the main guys when you can, but let's try to start integrating some of the young guys. So when the next coach comes in, he already has something to work with. So I probably would go if he's open to it, right? He might not be open to being an interim coach, but if he's open to being an interim coach for a year, Hugo Perez, and then by the next summer, bring in the big name.
I mean, Hugo Perez doesn't have a job, right? He hasn't had a job since El Salvador. So he might be open to being an interim because if he does well for that year, maybe he could go get an MLS job after that.
Or maybe U.S. soccer keeps him. If he's doing well, we don't find someone.
It's possible. I just don't know that Hugo Perez has the experience at a high level that you want for a World Cup, especially with the level that this team is and will be competing at, right? It's questionable. This guy's only ever coached El Salvador. And even with El Salvador, he did well, but it's all in CONCACAF too.
Also about this game, Ivory Coast, a little bit, slightly better, not too much, very even, but Norway's not doing anything.
No. I think, honestly, if you look around at the coaches available, your best bet is keeping Pochettino right now. It's like maybe
Well,
just
depending on how we go, like if he goes to a quarterfinals, the number one goal should be to keep him.
yeah, blank check. If he makes a quarterfinal, it's blank check.
Because now he'll also have a full cycle. He can bring in some young guys from the get go and actually get into the World Cup with a very, very deep roster, which is what we want for the next one.
Yes. But you have to put a clause in his contract that the only way he's allowed to bring Christian Roldan is as a member of the coaching staff.
I think he'll move on from Roldan.
I hope so. All right, best coach in Argentina history, current World Cup champs, had zero experience prior to taking that job. And Messi had no trophies for country before that. That is true. Two things. One, he was the assistant coach for a very long time.
With Sampaoli, yeah. He was
right?
around.
Number two, he was also, that's the outlier. It can happen that an assistant coach can be amazing, but it's a huge risk. There are lots of assistant coaches that have not been good head coaches. So you can point to that one and say, oh, he might be the guy, but it's very hard to use that as the norm. Normally, you want to cover your risk. And by covering your risk, you look for a guy that has a good record consistently with different teams. That's the other thing. Being good with one team is one thing. But sometimes coaches can be good with one team and then terrible everywhere else, right? Because there was a certain environment or they had a certain player pool at the right time, and that really helped them. But when you want to manage risk, you have to think about one job. Sure, he won the World Cup. And truth be told, if we got Lionel Scaloni, I would probably be fine with that.
Well, Pete, people love to bring up Scaloni as an example for that, but it's not a good example. He was an assistant coach at Sevilla, so he got that experience. He was an assistant coach and a U20 coach with Argentina, so he was very much entrenched into that already. In Argentina, when they put him there, they were a little bit in a crisis mode. It was like right after the World Cup, right? They had just gotten destroyed by France in 2018. They hadn't won the Copa America in a while. They had lost 2 in a row to Chile in the final. So they just bet on him. And Argentina has done that in the past, and it didn't work. They brought in Maradona to coach them once in 2009, I think, or 8. So Scaloni's an exception. We can't be using exceptions as the norm, right? Oh, it worked out for him. Yes, but he did have experience at a very high level, and he was very much already involved with the national team setup, right?
Yeah.
It's a little bit different.
So, I mean, look, I don't think Scaloni is going to go from coaching Argentina to coaching the U.S. also. I don't think, if he leaves Argentina, my guess is he probably wants to take a break.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't leave, because then Pochettino might be going there.
Yeah, but I think he will leave. Hasn't he already said he's going to leave?
Who? Scaloni?
Scaloni.
I mean, oh, what a goal from Norway. Holy shit. Am I ahead of you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nusa. Beautiful curler from Nusa. Excellent goal. Excellent goal there. Thank you, Jeff. Ten Hag. Luis, a former Flamengo, Lorenzo, Colombia. Ten Hag, I have real questions about. He failed at Manchester United, and he failed at Bayer Leverkusen. Like, really failed at Bayer Leverkusen. So I don't know if, like, yes, he was good at Ajax, but very hard to see him doing well with the U.S.
I also think from a cultural standpoint, if we're going to go foreigners, I think the Latino coach might work a little bit better for us. A little bit more, because Americans are a little bit more stoic, right? Like Europeans even. So just mesh well, would match well in that sense. But I feel like our team needs a guy that fires them up a little bit more. And
yeah, Dutch coaches, I don't know. A little bit too heady.
Jose Mourinho I'll be fine with, but he's just signed with Madrid. So
yeah.
Him, because he would just be like, to get so much media attention. His interviews would be great. It's like,
I don't know though. He might turn us into just a defensive team with no flair, no creativity. We're winning 1-0 over Trinidad and Tobago, and Jose Mourinho's calling it the best defensive performance he's ever seen. I just don't know about that one. Kyler says, might be jumping the gun, but I think I'm team keep Poch if possible. It feels like it's unlikely we get better than him. Blank check if we make quarters. Yeah, I'm with you. If he gets to the quarters, you do everything you can to keep Pochettino. For sure. For sure. Especially looking around at who's available right now. Not Tata or Herrera. No, guys, please. Tata Martino has not really found success. Guys, he got Mexico grouped at the World Cup, and he oversaw one of the worst Mexican generations that I've ever seen. Like, what is Tata Martino's real success recently? So Norway in the lead just before halftime, guys. Norway in the lead. New coach must focus on recruiting dual nat guys. Yeah, for sure, that should be part of it. But if you look around, there's not that many dual nats that we need to be going after right now. There's a few that could definitely help. But like, I don't really like, if you look around, Tack, who are the dual nats that were like, we absolutely have to get this guy? I don't really see any.
Like right now?
Oh, Norway almost scored again.
Like right now?
Yeah.
I would say technically Mathis Albert qualifies as a dual nat, right? He's available.
Yeah, but he's already been with the USA, played at
Well,
the under 17.
yeah, so
World
was
Cup.
like Izmir and Obed. So
I'm
I don't
not
know.
too worried about Mathis because he's already talked about representing the US at the World Cup and how he looks up to Christian Pulisic, his idol. So I'd be very surprised. Also, he's eligible for France and Germany. He ain't ever getting into that France lineup. And do you really want to be with this dumpster fire named Germany right now? I'm really not worried about Mathis Albert. You know who I'm worried they might try to interview? Gareth Southgate. The English Greg.
Dude, that would be terrible. I would take BJ over him. BJ Callahan.
Yes, same.
I also don't want a Brit in charge of the national team.
No.
I'm sorry, I just don't want it.
Also, there aren't any good English coaches. Like,
Yes.
who's the good? That's why they went and had to hire Thomas Tuchel. Even they finally realized there are no good British English coaches. Maybe Eddie Howe at Newcastle. That's like their best option. But like, guys, the Premier League's been around for 30-something years, and an English coach has never won it. Never.
Does anyone think how insane that sounds? Like,
yeah.
How insane is that? Like, everyone just think that for a second. Like, even MLS, that we have to import a lot of players, right? Because again, US soccer is still growing and developing here. We have Americans winning the league coaching
all the time. Yeah.
Yes. Now England hasn't had that in the Premier League. It's insane.
Ever. Yeah. Guys, Nathaniel Brown is cap tied. What are you guys talking about, Nathaniel Brown? It's not coming. It's cap tied.
Yeah. Also, did you see that apparently he was one of the players that refused to take a penalty yesterday?
That's a very poor.
Did you see the video of Kimmich? Like, Kimmich is like stepping up saying the 6th penalty kick, no German wanted to take it.
Yeah,
and he was just like,
that.
someone he say, and then Jonathan Tah was like, all right, I'll take it, and just fucking rockets it over the crossbar. It's insane to me how players are not mentally ready to take a penalty shootout in a World Cup knockout game. It's like, guys, you have to be ready. It can happen. It can happen.
It even happened with Portugal. Do you remember that video of Ronaldo begging his players to take penalties and them refusing to take it? And he's like, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And he's like, come on, show some personality. If you lose, we lose, but show something.
With his was different. It was just like, I think it was one player that he was like, no, I don't want to go. And it's like, no, you're going to go and you're going to score. Just like, you're going to go and you're going to score. But it's just insane to me. It's like, guys, if you're going to a World Cup knockout game, you can go to penalty shootouts, and whether you're the top 5 or not, you have to be ready, because if it goes to like the knockout of the penalty shootouts, you might have to take it. Even the goalkeeper has to be ready to take it. You can't go like this.
Also, like, if you miss, you miss. It happens all the time. Players miss penalties in World Cups. It sucks. It's not a career ender. You're going to be fine. People will forget about it when the club
Unless you're
season starts
Baggio,
again.
everyone still looks at that penalty till
I
this
mean, in
day.
a World Cup final is probably a little bit different, right?
And when
But
you're
it's
the
like,
top player of the team.
yeah, but like, look, so many players at this point have missed in a shootout. It happens. It's not the end of the world if you miss. Like, if you eliminate the fear of missing, ooh, that's a bad foul on Doué. You have to like stop being afraid to miss. You just go and do your best, and if you miss, you miss. It happens. It hasn't ended anybody's career. It hasn't done any, like, people still go and play with their clubs and they're fine. And most people forget.
Pete, did you see the tweet I just shared from Colin Cohard?
No.
On June 20th, so not that long ago, he was like, Netherlands is winning the World Cup. As a soccer expert, I can sense things many others can't. They lose the first knockout game.
Wasn't Colin Cowherd the one that was mad at USMNT fans for wanting Berhalter out?
Yes,
Ooh,
yes.
Ivory Coast almost scored.
Yeah, he doesn't watch soccer. He shows up well, to be fair, he doesn't only show up during World Cups. He does show up when the US men's national team plays. He always shows up and says something stupid every time the US plays something.
Yeah, it's like, dude, absolute nonsense. He goes on these little rants, and you can tell from the rants that somebody else wrote it for him, and he's like reading it off a teleprompter because he doesn't really know what he's talking about. And he's just trying to rage bait people.
Yeah, I think with him, it's like, I don't want to be 100% unfair to him. There's a lot of guys, like, for example, Skip Bayless, I guess Stephen A. Smith, they only show up in World Cups, right? Because they know there's hype and there's eyeballs. Colin does say a lot of stupid shit throughout the cycle.
Yeah, he does.
We got to give him credit. He shows up every time the US is playing and says something very idiotic. And then he disappears for like 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ivory Coast is not playing bad, but Norway just
it's been a pretty easy game. I mean, even game. It's been a pretty even game back and forth.
And you do know Norway is going to get one more goal, right? Haaland has to score one goal every game. It always happens. He'll get a goal.
2-0. I could see it.
Oh, by the way, my eye is a lot better. You probably can't even notice. Look at it.
Oh yeah, you got.
I told you it wasn't pink eye. It wasn't pink eye. It was literally that stupid. Yeah. So just.
Did Tack freeze or did I freeze? Can you guys, is it my internet or is it Tack's? I think Tack is frozen. Yeah, Tack is frozen. Oh no. Did you read my super chat? Yeah, Steven, the one about the dual nats. This one, right? Yeah. No, I read it. About how that's definitely a part of his job for sure. But right now, the dual nats that we're looking at, I mostly hear are guys that we already kind of have in the pool. There's not a lot of dual nats out there that you're like, we need to get this guy who hasn't been with us already. But yeah, like Diego Cochin, I think really does want to represent us, for example. Spicy Jeff kidnapped Tack and took him to his van. Jeff. Julian Hall. Yeah, Julian Hall is a dual nat for sure. Definitely want to recruit him. See, a lot of these guys are technically dual nats, but they're already in our system. Julian Hall prefers to represent the US, but he hasn't. He prefers to represent the US, Cavan is technically a dual nat. Mathis is technically a dual nat. Xavier Gozo is technically a dual nat. Adri Mehmeti is a dual. Like a lot of them are dual nats, but most of them are already been in our system, so we're already doing the recruiting. In terms of recruiting guys that haven't played for us yet, there's that Japanese goalie at Brugge, but it's very hard to recruit the Japanese players because they have to give up Japanese citizenship. So, yeah, Brandon Nozawa. That would be great. The question is he willing to give up Japanese citizenship? Because Japan doesn't allow dual citizenship. So if Nozawa chooses to represent the US, he may never be able to live in Japan again. That's a problem. Spicy Jeff says Tack will be back after I finish his deep tissue massage. Tack sent me a message. He said his Wi-Fi is down. Oh, it's halftime, by the way. Pete, thoughts on Brown? Brown is cap tied to Germany, guys. We have to forget about Brown. He doesn't want to come, and even if he could, he doesn't want to. Go fund me for tax internet bill. All right, let's take a look at the stats. I'm going to say I think this is very even. Let's take a look at the stats here. So we have... Wait, which one is Norway? Norway's red. Okay. Yeah, Norway, 56% possession. Their XG has been slightly higher than Ivory Coast. 6-5. So it's been relatively even. P, remember, if only Brown chosen the USMNT, he would still be in the World Cup. I mean, yeah, but we haven't won our Bosnia game yet either. And also, guys, it's not just about how far your team can go in the World Cup. It's also who you feel like you want to represent the most. Maybe he grew up rooting for Germany and watching German soccer and idolizing German players. So the chance to represent your country also comes from here. It's not just a measure of who do I think is going to go further in a World Cup. It's an emotional thing too. It's like, where are you attached, right? Like, I'm technically half Argentine, right? So let's say I was a very good player and the US wanted me and Argentina wanted me. Sure, Argentina is going to go further than the US in most World Cups, but I would still rather represent the US because that's where my heart is. That's what I'm connected to. Like, being technically from another country, sure, my dad, my biological father, is Argentine, but I don't live in Argentina. I've never even been to Argentina. I don't speak Spanish. So there's no emotional connection to Argentina there. So I would represent the US, right? Like, if, he has no connection with his father, he's born in Germany, he's raised in Germany, he speaks German, and Germany comes calling, I don't blame him for going with Germany. It's not just about who could go further in the World Cup. Brandon Nazawa low-key looks like Shohei Ohtani. Yeah, it does a little bit. But not all Japs, people from Japan look the same. Hold up, you're Latino, Pete? Yes, technically I am half Latino. Technically, but I've never lived there. In fact, I'm going to South America it's the 30th, so next month. Next month, I'm going to Colombia, not Argentina. Colombia. But then I also have connections to Thailand. And if Thailand asked me to come represent them, I would also say no. Rodan has inspired thousands of young players to play for us. Pedro de la Cruz, Pete Rodriguez, Pete Scaloni. If Yann Diomande chose the US, would he be over Pulisic in our starting 11? No, he wouldn't be over Pulisic, but he would be in the starting 11. But Diomande couldn't have chosen the US even if he wanted to. He was not eligible. He lived in the US for a few years, but he wasn't a citizen. There was no chance he was ever going to represent the US. Pete DePaul. Pete the Chino. Pete Hines. Wow. Pete Veron. No, my dad is technically Argentine, but he is of Scottish descent. His great-great-grandfather immigrated to Argentina from Scotland. Pete, is Nozawa better than any of our current keepers? Yes. Yes, he is. He's definitely better than our current keepers, for sure. I fixed my internet. Send the link again. Keep trying, Mactical. I gotta admire the persistence. Yes, it's probably more like Pete McAllister. It's probably more like Pete McAllister. Pete McTominay. All right, let's have a word from our sponsor, guys. FanDuel is a sponsor of the channel, as you know. I didn't recommend putting anything on Norway, Ivory Coast because it's a very narrow one. France, Sweden, guys. I mean, the chances of Sweden upsetting France are so ridiculously low. Mexico, Ecuador, the odds are so narrow, so I don't think it's a good bet. England, DR Congo. I'm just going to say it. England has not looked that good in this tournament. Now, they're still the favorites over Dr. Congo. But Dr. Congo at plus 560 and you got $10 that you don't mind throwing away. And on the off chance Dr. Congo beats England, that would be an incredible moment for them. But that's the only bet where I'm looking at it and I'm going, that one makes sense. I would never in a million years bet on Bosnia. Spain, Austria, potentially at plus 600, but Austria hasn't looked that good in this World Cup, so I probably wouldn't do that either. So really, guys, the only one that I can see being feasible is probably a little bit of money on Dr. Congo, but bet responsibly, guys. Okay, don't go throwing large amounts of money on it. It makes the game a little more fun if you throw $5 or $10, but do not bet money you do not have or cannot afford to lose. You have to consider it gone. Once you bet, it's gone. That money's gone. You're not getting it back. You're not making any money. If you have that mentality, then you'll understand. And if you have any kind of addiction issues in the past, don't bet at all. Don't bet at all because it can be very addicting if you have an addictive personality, right? So don't. England are the only team that plays haram ball without meaning to. That's a great way. That's a great way to describe England. Smash the like button, guys. Yes, smash the like button if you have not already. While we're here, let's also pull up a plug for the Patreon. The 11 Yanks Patreon, guys. I have a goal. Right now, we have 539 members. A lot of those are free members. You can also become a free member if you want. But I think we have about 370 paying members. My goal is to try to get the Patreon to 500 members. So these are your options. You can be a USMNT supporter for $3 a month. You get access to community threads, polls, discussion, and Q&As on Patreon. Access to young player scouting reports, all touch comps, usually from young prospects, supporting the 11 Yanks channel, and you get weekly top 10 video comps. Then the most popular one is the $5 a month USMNT Die Hard. Obviously, you support the channel, tactical breakdowns of all USMNT games, young player scouting reports, community threads, all touch player comps, and weekly top 10 video comps. So the weekly top 10 video comps basically means goals and assists for any USMNT player with their club, both the prospects and the ones that are currently with the team. Okay, so that is for, you get everything with pretty much. Now, if you're a USMNT fanatic, you get 10% discount on all 11 Yanks merch as well. You get everything you get in these two categories, but you also get a discount on merch, right? And then there's the USMNT billionaires category, which I think we have two of those, where it's $20 a month. And that's just if you have ridiculous amount of money and you want to help support the channel. You basically get everything that the $8 a month, the fanatic category gets. And it's really just your way of saying, I want to do more to help support the channel if you can do that. So go check it out, guys. Go check it out if you want. It is very much appreciated. And I really would like to get to 500 Patreon subscribers by the end of the year. So link is in the description below if you want to check that out. Do we have any promising defenders? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So Colin Strike. There's about 7 or 8 young defenders that I can point to and say there's promise there. Okay. I'll try to go through them, see if I miss any of them. There's Josh Winder, who's in Benfica's academy, but needs to leave probably and go somewhere where he's going to get playing time. There is Christopher Cups, who's not getting as much playing time with Chicago Fire this season, even though I thought he was playing fine last year. I don't know why they've relegated him back to MLS Next Pro. Thank you, Greg Berhalter. Then there's Ian James, who's a starter for Sporting KC this season at just 17 years old. There's Andre Kurila over at FC Cincinnati, who's actually played a lot of minutes, 17 years old, left foot, very good passer of the ball. Honestly, FC Cincinnati has looked better with him in the lineup over Miles Robinson. So that's another interesting one. Ethan Kohler at 20 years old has been a starter for the New England Revolution. Attack is back. So that's Ethan Kohler. That's number 5. Then there's Neil Pierre, who had this weird loan to Lyngby in Denmark. Didn't play that much for them, but scored like 3 goals in 2 games as a center back. Very good passer of the ball, 6'7", physical specimen, is now back with the Union and looks like he's going to be getting some minutes for them now as we go into the second half of the season. So that's 6. Trying to think of this. Oh, yeah. And then there's Ramiz Hamuda, who was playing for Birmingham Legion in the USL. He started for us at the Under-17 World Cup. He just made a move to Werder Bremen. I think that's an interesting move because it looks like Karim Koulibaly, their other teenage center back, is going to be moving to Bayern this summer. So if Karim Koulibaly leaves, Ramiz Hamuda could be an interesting prospect for them to get minutes in the Bundesliga. So that's 7 off the top of my head. I'm trying to think if there's any more that I missed. I think those are the 7 to keep an eye on. Now, look, we don't know how many of them are going to make it or ever become elite. But those are the 7. We're talking about young center backs and who the next generation of center backs are. Then there's guys that are a little bit older that I don't think are ever going to be an elite center back, but could be fine in CONCACAF. And I'm talking about guys like Justin Shea, who's playing well finally in MLS at 22. And then there's George Campbell, who is at 24, is actually doing quite well in the championship. I don't think either of those guys is ever going to be an elite center back, but as sort of an interim until some of these teenage center backs make it, that could be interesting.
Did you see how Ecuador's pissed at Mexico?
No, what happened now?
So there was the fireworks that I'm sure you saw that, right?
The fireworks overnight. Yeah, but we do that in CONCACAF all the time.
No, I know, but what Ecuador is complaining about is like FIFA should find the FMF because there should be security or something because this is the World Cup, right? Like you shouldn't have that advantage as the host nation at this point, right? The other thing was apparently they held, I'm trying to find the source for this. Someone told me, apparently on purpose, they held the Mexican national team for like 9 hours on the airport just to mess with them.
The Mexican national team?
The Ecuadorian national team.
Oh. And yeah, that's kind of shitty.
So that and so they're, dude, I swear the writing's on the wall. Mexico's going to lose tonight. I'm telling you.
Damn.
They're going to get knocked out tonight.
It. I'm not going to watch it, but I'm definitely going to keep track of it on my phone because I have an event tonight I have to go to.
They're going to lose. They're not going to get the quinto partido.
That would be the meltdown. And especially after they did so well in the group stage. I mean, well enough. They scored what? 3, 4, 5, 6 goals and conceded 0. Got 9 points. Yeah, it's going to be a very tough game.
And not getting the quinto partido in an expanded World Cup.
Thank you, Dejin. Thank you. Pete is protesting the match tonight. No, I actually wanted to watch it. It's a very good game. But my theater company is having our annual awards, and I'm one of the presenters and the MC and all that. So thankfully, they were going to do it tomorrow. And I told them, I was like, there's no way I can do it tomorrow. I was like, the U.S. is playing Bosnia. Fire me if you want. I'm not doing it. So they moved it for me. So I have to do it tonight.
It's also a game that very likely will end 0-0.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. But TAC is streaming it, guys. Most of you obviously know TAC, but in case you're new, Tactical Manager TV is going to do the live watch along for Mexico versus Ecuador. Hey, Pete, will the U.S. call up Eric Palmer Brown back? They shouldn't. They shouldn't. Dude's playing in Greece. Dude, that's probably a lower level than MLS.
He also broke his foot. He was struggling to get minutes.
He broke his foot. He's 30 years old. Like, I don't think we should be looking at the next generation. Like, honestly, I probably wouldn't call up CCV either. I just don't think like
CCV to be called in. It's only like if late in the cycle for some reason he's like balling out in a good league. Sure.
Yeah.
Early on, no.
We should be looking at the next generation. That's what we need. We need to be building a young generation that can actually push these guys. Because right now our center backs, the only three that I kind of trust are Trusty, Richards, and Freeman. And even Trusty is a question mark, right? Definitely has some good things, showed well against Turkey. For a roster guy, I think Trusty will probably still be there. But we need to develop at least 2 more elite center backs. So of the 7 that I mentioned before, we have to hope 2 of them can become elite. Because then you'll have 4 elite center backs, and that's usually enough. And then if your 5th center back is Austin Trusty, that's fine. I heard Brian Reynolds is getting a move this summer. Yeah, maybe. I don't really understand the move necessarily to Rennes. He's been okay in Belgium, but he feels like he's already 25. Feels like a guy that's kind of has a very limited ceiling. Like, I don't really see the point of. He's not a center back. Also, he's a right back.
But good for him.
At right backs, huh?
But good for him. It's like,
you know, who's going to be interesting to watch? Ben Kremaski at Parma. They bought him, and the only reason I think he might be interesting is because they want to convert him into a wing back, which I actually like a lot better than an attacking midfielder. I don't think he's very good as an attacking midfielder. But as a wingback depth piece, that could be interesting. He's got the physicality for it. But I still don't think he's better than Weah or Des. That's the problem.
Musa as a wingback. He'll be better than Kremaski.
That's true.
Like Musa, I know he's struggling for club, but I think the big reason he wasn't called in was because he rejected the Gold Cup call-up. I think that's a big reason. Can you hear the storm? No, it's insane here. The house even shaking a little bit.
Oh, wow.
But it's normal in Florida. It's nothing. Couldn't hear that? No? Weird.
Your mic probably has very good directional sound.
Yeah. I mean, it's also coming from the outside. Yeah.
Oh, nobody made. There was 3 guys on the edge of the 6-yard box for Ivory Coast. Nobody makes the run to the back post. Otherwise, that's an Ivory Coast goal. They're definitely pushing here. Oh, a lot of people in the chat saying they heard it.
Yeah. It's like very loud here. That's why I was wondering if you could hear it. Like now it's stopped. It's just rain now. But it's just normal in Florida. It's not really like a major storm. Especially during the summer.
I hope the U.S. do better than South Korea. Let's go USA. Well, we've already done better than South Korea. They didn't get out of their group. We did. We topped our group. We've already done way better than South Korea. Guys, have you seen an influx of viewers/subscribers? Yeah, definitely has been a few. I wouldn't call it an influx. Definitely some.
Slight growth.
There's definitely been some growth, yeah, for sure.
And I think that very small growth, actually.
Relatively small, yeah. Like I went from 22,000 when the World Cup started to I just hit 23,000 yesterday. So that's still relatively small. Thank you, Nicholas, for joining the Patreon. I appreciate it. Nicholas last name I'm struggling to pronounce. But thank you. I appreciate it very much. Pete, we are going to tax family barbecue. Sure, Helios Barn. Watch, it's Josh. It's Josh.
Yeah. But what barbecue? We're not having one.
Like, you do barbecue at your place, no? You get the picanha?
No, yeah, but is there a barbecue that I know about that we scheduled? I mean, I make barbecues, but not for a bunch of people here.
Eligible. So Pete, Justin Che is a dual national, eligible for Cameroon, Netherlands. He's not going to the Netherlands, guys. He's not even remotely good enough. He's definitely not going to Germany. Russia would be a weird one. And Cameroon, I mean, maybe if the U.S. doesn't call him up and Cameroon is interested in him, he might go.
Do they know about him? Do they know he exists?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Look, Justin Che just needs to focus on being really good with the Red Bulls and try to get a Camp Cupcake call-up or something. That should be his goal. He's been with the U.S. He played for us in the Under-20 World Cup, Under-17 World Cup. I wouldn't be too worried about losing Justin Che, but also if we do, I don't think it's a great loss. I think Justin Che has had a very up and down career. Hopefully he can find, some level of like consistency now. He got injured a lot. He's had struggled at different clubs. He's finally in a stable situation with the Red Bulls, and he started the season very well, but then he got injured again. And then he came back the last 2 games before the World Cup and once again looked really good. But let's see. It's also MLS, right? It's MLS. Start, bench, sit. Lalas, Landon, Stu, Holden. Oh, man. That's a tough one. You mean for as players or as commentators? Because as players, it's not close.
Pete, honestly, out of those 3, I'd start Lalas. At least he says like stupid shit that he gets people talking. The other 2 are just boring, blend.
I think Landon is definitely...
Landon's the worst. He's the worst one
of the 3, for sure.
I mean, to me, that's easy. You start Lalas over those 2.
Oh, Omar, sorry, I missed your super chat. Today I feel Ecuadorian. Oh, the Infantino video came across my Twitter timeline this morning. I was laughing my ass off.
Infantino is something else, dude. He is an interesting character. I'll just say one thing. These 2 teams are the matchup for Brazil, right? They're not looking better than Brazil so far.
No, it's been kind of a dull game.
Brazil will create a lot against these teams, for sure. And as long as Casemiro doesn't give them a goal, I think these are 2 very beatable teams for Brazil. Honestly, beatable for the U.S. has actually looked a little bit better than Brazil, to be honest. Even though Brazil played a bit tougher team so far.
Yeah, I don't think the U.S. would draw with Morocco.
I don't know how the U.S. would even do against Japan right now. Be a very close game.
I think it would be a tight game, yeah. Hey, Pete, any upcoming midfielders for the USMNT getting called up for the 2030 World Cup? Well, again, trying to project 2030 World Cup is very tough. But 2 clear candidates would be Adri Mehmeti and Kevin Sullivan, midfielders-wise. Those would be the 2 clearest candidates. Then there's some other, not lesser candidates, but guys whose maybe ceiling isn't as high. You talk about Brooklyn Raines, potentially, Matthew Corcoran at Nashville, Snyder Brunel at Seattle, and Pedro Soma over at San Diego. But those are more like double pivot type midfielders. As far as attacking midfielders go, I mean, I'm a fan of Nico Shakiris, but he keeps getting injured, and I feel like that's really going to hinder his progress. He was doing really well for San Jose. It was probably their best player before he got injured yet again. Oh, Ivory Coast safe. Looking around, I don't really see that many attacking midfielders that I think are going to be elite. There's Taha Habrun at Columbus. I don't rate him that highly. Maybe Jude Terry at LAFC, but it's just, look, to be elite, you usually have to be playing professionally by 17, 18 years old. If you're not playing professionally at 7, 18, your chances of being an elite player are very low. Very low. So it's hard. I think it's more wingers that we're creating right now, right? Xavier Gozo, Matisse Albert, even Kevin Sullivan can play as a winger. So It's wingers and double pivots. As far as pure 10s, I don't really think. I think Pulisic should be a pure 10 for the rest of the cycle, to be honest. Make him a pure 10, and then you can start getting some of the young winger talent in there. Tak is taller and more handsome than Tom Cruise. We have affirmed this, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Tak, remember, Norway never lost to Brazil. Careful. Yeah, but when have they played?
They played in, I think, a few World Cups. 98, they played. I think it was a tie in the group stage. I mean, that doesn't mean anything. Germany never lost a penalty shootout until yesterday. So
yeah,
one thing we need to change in soccer is that past events from like 30 years ago don't matter now. They don't.
Yeah.
So,
is Bosnia's defense better than Paraguay or Australia? From what I have seen of Bosnia, no.
Dude, they conceded 4 to Switzerland, Pete. Australia is not conceding 4 goals.
No. In my opinion, what I have seen is no.
They're slower.
Yes, even the Bosnia fan, Eldin Hasic, that I had on, even he was saying that. He was like, the problem with our center backs is they're very slow. That's probably why they have to sit in a deep block, because if it's open space, we'll kill them.
I said this on the preview. I don't underestimate the opponents, and they did knock out Italy, but I find their defense worse than Paraguay and Australia. The offense, I would say about the same. They can get it done here and there, but it's not like something too crazy. They have Esmir and the other white player that's 18. He's good, the 18-year-old. You have experienced Jenko up top that if you give him time and space, he'll punish you. But outside of that, dude, like their midfield is also not good at all. They're going to get smoked by Tyler, McKennie, Tillman. It's a must-win. That's all I'll say. If you can't beat Bosnia at home in the World Cup, you're not a good team.
Yeah. The air conditioning broke in my van. I'm unclothed now. Wow. TMI, Jeff. TMI. All right, 57 minutes. Norway still leading 1-0. Erling Braut Haaland. How many goals does he have? 3? He has 3 goals, right?
Haaland scored 2 in the first one. He scored at least 1 more. He has 4, I think.
He has 4? He got 2 against Senegal?
He has 4 goals.
4.
Which
and he didn't play in the last game.
Yeah.
Ooh,
he broke the record
again.
for Norwegian players. Men's players, right? Men's.
Dang. Well, good for him. Let's see what he does here today. I mean, dude, even if Norway wins this game and then loses to Brazil, that's a good World Cup for them. It's the first time they've come to the World Cup since 98. They got out of a very tough group and won 1 knockout game. That's a very good World Cup.
Mm-hmm. Also,
but Brazil, it is cool to see Norway developing like talent, right? The last 4 years, they have all these guys play in top 5 leagues in Europe, except for one of their midfielders play for Bodo Glimt, who also got to like a quarterfinal of a Champions League. So
Brazil, like people keep talking about Brazil. I didn't even know this. I pulled FootMob to see the Haaland stats. Brazil leads the World Cup in expected goals difference, big chances created. Brazil's playing well in the World Cup for the most part.
Yeah. I kind of don't want Ivory Coast to equalize. I can't do another extra time tech.
Now, are you doing another stream today?
No, I have to go get ready for my event. Also, it's France-Sweden. I don't think there's going to be that much interest in France-Sweden.
Watch it. Sweden on penalties.
Sweden wins on penalties. Oh, my God. Then I'll be like, why didn't I do it?
I mean, Sweden is going to bunker and just try to counterattack with Isak and Gorex, whatever. Gyökeres, the Arsenal forward.
Yeah. Louis Leibowitz, my confidence level is 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 for tomorrow.
My confidence is actually 10 out of 10 for tomorrow.
Good.
It's not that I'm disrespecting Bosnia. I just don't see us getting knocked out by Bosnia.
I really want us to not just win, but to win by a large goal margin. We need to get people hyped again. The Turkey game kind of, even though the diehards know the context of the Turkey game, a lot of people maybe didn't. And it just kind of killed some of the excitement and momentum. So I'm hoping a good thrashing, even though it's Bosnia, right? It wouldn't be like, oh my God, what an incredible win. But a good like 4-0 win would be very good for momentum and confidence and excitement.
I wouldn't mind the Ivory Coast tying this game, though.
Then we're going to be here for an extra half an hour, 45
No,
minutes.
I just kind of want another UEFA team out. Like the two that have played so far, they're out.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if it's all three that played are out. Well, the next game, one's going to advance, so there's that.
The thing is, Norway is the only UEFA team I actually like. I kind of like this underdog Norway, who's never really been that good. I mean, they used to be good in the John Arne Riise days, but they've never been that good. And now all of a sudden they're developing all this talent. But also be cool for Ivory Coast, right? Africa's had an incredible World Cup so far, 9 out of 10 spots. You know what would be amazing is Dr. Congo beating England. That would be the story of the World Cup by
Dude, they're
far.
gonna get pissed. You're calling them Dr. Congo. It's DR. It's Democratic
I
Republic.
know it's DR, but it became a joke in the chat because it's harder to say DR.
You're gonna go viral there like the LA reporter.
No, because I know where DR Congo is on the map.
Yeah.
And if I don't, I will not say I don't care.
But you know where Bosnia is on the map.
Actually, no.
If
you gave me a map of Europe with no things, I think I could point roughly to where it is, but I don't think I could point exactly to where it is.
I know because of the meme, the Croatia meme, that Croatia blocked the beach from them. If you look at the map, that is Bosnia. That is Bosnia. That's how I know.
But there's a difference between not knowing and saying you don't want to know. That's a very different thing.
Yeah. I mean, I know because of that meme. They always put that meme up. It's like, hey, I want to go to the beach. Croatia's like, no. They just blocked the whole thing. That's Bosnia. It's not on the coast, guys. Well, it should be, but Croatia doesn't let them go to the coast. They're saying, hey, Tack and Pete, could the US beat Brazil in a competitive World Cup game? Could they? Yes. The problem is, like, again, so we talked about Japan yesterday. The American players would have to believe they can beat Brazil, because if we just sit back, if the US just sits back and lets Brazil have the ball and attack them, there's no way. You can't play Brazil just letting them play.
Yeah, Japan learned that the hard way.
Also,
this team has not showed that they'd be good at a bunker. We've never seen this team bunker with Poch successfully.
No. So maybe they have a chance against Brazil, because you probably don't want to bunker against Brazil.
Honestly, I just tell them you go straight for Casemiro. Just Tyler Adams. Keep taking the ball off Casemiro. And then you've got Pulisic and Dest running at the fullbacks. Honestly, that might work.
Yeah. Let Casemiro get the ball. Once he gets it, harass him.
Yes.
Dude, he was doing 1-2s with the Japanese players yesterday. Just give and go.
And then injuring his own players.
Yes.
Running into his own.
He injured Paqueta.
If Congo players had Dr. Pepper, then they are doctor.
1 sec, I'll be right back. I'm going to get more gum.
Okay. Ivory Coast coming down the right. Pete, are we all for Ecuador tonight? Yes. It's an L Tree hate watch. Oh, here comes Norway. We should support CONCACAF. No, we should not. Mexico's our rival. We're talking about it being a El Tree hate watch tonight. You can support Mexico if you want, but I'm not. I'm anti-El tree. That's our rival.
That's like
The
Brazilians.
same way that the English would never support Scotland or vice versa.
Yeah, imagine Brazilians. Oh, I'm going to support Argentina for South America. No. And then you may be saying, are Brazilians supporting Ecuador? Maybe, but Ecuador is kind of neutral, right? It's not really like
they're not a rival.
like
Mexico is our rival.
I would support Costa Rica in a World Cup. Jamaica.
Yes. I was supporting Haiti to do well. Like I wanted them to do well.
Oh, did you see that?
What, the penalty shout? No.
No, the chance that Norway just wasted.
From a corner?
Yeah.
One sec. Odegaard's about to take it. Oh my God. Off the line. Off the line. Oh, that would have ended the game right there. Norway has definitely been the better team. Ivory Coast has not created anything. Yes, Canada will absolutely be a hate watch, guys. We're all supporting Morocco. Not pulling for Canada while Marsh is coach. Yeah, also, I congratulated Canada on beating South Africa. I was like, it's an incredible feat for Canada, considering that they've had 0 World Cup points in their entire history. To get 4 points and beat South Africa, congratulations. And at the very end of the tweet, I said, unfortunately, this is probably the end of the road for Canada because either Morocco or the Netherlands will beat them. And the Canadians got so mad at me that I was saying facts. They were like, shut up, you twat. And I was like, oh no, they're trying to talk trash now.
They're stupid, dude. I'm sorry. Like, they're going to play Morocco now. Morocco is better than them in almost every single position. Maybe an inform Alphonso Davies would be better, but he's not in form.
That's
He's
it.
going back from injury.
Yeah.
Morocco has more experience than them at this level. Morocco has more fight in them and more talent. Like, they're literally better at everything. They also have a better coach. The only way Canada has a shot is if something like the Copa America happens. Someone gets an early red from Morocco. Then maybe Canada has a shot.
Yeah. I'm going to run to the restroom real quick, Zach.
Okay. Right now, we're during the hydration break, everyone. Hydration break here, commercial break. Pete doesn't have commercial for y'all, though. He doesn't monetize the hydration break. They have a Home Depot commercial, Powerade. So how much you guys think Powerade is paying for this? Or Coca-Cola, shall I say? One second. Still 1-0 here. I can't put the super chat saying, so is Pulisic due for a goal? I hope so. The Bosnia game, I'm hoping we make a statement win, right? A big win in the knockouts. That's what I want to see against Bosnia. I'll take a 1-0 scrappy win. I'll take it. We need a win, right? The game. But ultimately, what I want is a strong, like 2-3-0 win. Balogun scoring, Pulisic scoring. Build our confidence for the next round, because the next round, as long as we win, it's going to get progressively worse, right? Tougher. And I know people are going to say that's obvious. The World Cup gets tougher the more games you play. That is not true. Morocco just had to knock out the Netherlands, and then now they have to play Canada. So it's not true. It doesn't always get tougher.
For us, it does. It gets progressively tougher as we get to the final.
Which I like it. It's good.
Yeah, I like a good escalation, a gradual escalation. Mexico got an easier group than Canada. I don't think so. The hardest team in that group was Switzerland. That was the hardest team. They had Qatar, guys. Qatar is probably one of the worst teams in this World Cup with Tunisia.
Mexico's group was not good. If they were in a tougher group, they wouldn't get out. I don't know if Canada would have gotten out of our group.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think they would have beat Paraguay.
Or Australia. I think they would have tied at best. And then Turkey, who knows what version of Turkey they would have played.
Yeah. South Korea wasn't very good this year. Yeah, I don't know what happened to South Korea. They had the players to do better than they did.
Did you see Thogden grifting off Moroccans?
No.
He was like saying like I was born in England, but I feel Moroccan and all that. And then he was like, I was even at the AFCON. I saw them lift the trophy, and then I was just like, they didn't lift the trophy that day. It
Yeah,
was Senegal.
what? That's so
They
ridiculous.
didn't lift it. They didn't. It was Senegal.
That means he didn't even watch the final.
No, someone
So
commented
how
we
can
have
you
a.
feel Moroccan?
Someone commented Morocco hasn't lifted a trophy in 50 years. We have a vampire right here.
Trusty is in full training, according to Stephen Goff. Okay, that's good. I mean, I doubt he's going to play tomorrow if you just trained one day. Hopefully, you don't need Trusty, right? Hopefully, you don't need him. But if something happens to one of our defenders, it can only be Trusty. You can't bring on Miles or Mark.
Dude, Norway playing with this defense the way they're playing, they're giving so much space to the Ivory Coast. I don't know how they're going to hold Brazil to less than 2 goals.
Who would you guys all rather play, Belgium or Senegal? Honestly, I kind of want Belgium. I kind of want that rematch. I think they are both beatable teams. I think Belgium has a slight edge over us. I think it's about 50-50 with Senegal.
Yeah, to me, it doesn't really matter from a soccer standpoint. It doesn't really matter. I think both are very tough teams, and if we don't bring our A game, we're screwed. But looking at it as a fan, I kind of want a revenge from 2014, so I'd want Belgium. But from a soccer standpoint, honestly, guys, it's the level is like so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. That's the first time it's a true 50-50 game in this World Cup for the US. I mean, Turkey was a 50-50 game because we played our B team. But if we played the A team, that was not a 50-50 game.
The Norwegian fans doing the rowing thing, that's like something that if you take like your nephew, your son, any kid to the game, they'll fall in love with it. They'll love that. Yes.
I also like the Viking hats that they wear. I would love a good Viking hat.
That they give me a lot of like the How to Train Your Dragon vibes.
Yes. Yes.
That they remind me of the characters from How to Train Your Dragon, outside of the dragons, of course. Because I went to Epic Universe here and they have a How to Train Your Dragon section. Oh, they scored. They tied the game. Amad Diallo. We have a game.
Oh, my God.
And what a goal.
God. Extra time. Here we come. Oh, no. Oh, that's a great play. Oh, beautifully done, Diallo. Oh, that's a great solo goal. Well done, Amad Diallo. 1-1. Oh, extra time and penalties, Tack. We're stuck again.
Well, don't count on that. Norway's on pack watch.
So is Christian Pulisic due for a goal? Says Jenai's lady. Jen's lady. Yeah. Let's hope he gets a goal. Or 2 goals against Bosnia. That would be very good for his. I mean, I think he's looking very confident. But 100%, we definitely want Pulisic to score. It'd be very good for him going into a big team to have that level of confidence.
Dude, this Norwegian defense, the way they've been playing, I'm telling you, how if Amad Diallo is doing that to you, what is Vinicius going to do to you?
Yeah, they'll have to be a lot better defensively if they even get out of this group. But it's 1-1 right now. It's anyone's game.
They've been bad defensively in the group stage as well.
That is true. They conceded 3 to France. They conceded 2 to Senegal.
And they conceded to they concede every game.
Wait, what was their first game? The Senegal. They conceded twice.
4-1 against Iraq. They conceded. I think Iraq's only goal in the World Cup.
To Iraq.
Yeah, I think so. Then they conceded 2 to Senegal and 4 to France. They're going to leak 2 or 3 goals against Brazil. So unless you think Norway can score 3 on Brazil, I don't know.
All right, 15 minutes left, guys. 15 minutes left, and then we'll see.
But that was a beautiful goal for sure.
Yeah, that was an incredible goal by Diallo.
What are the UEFA people going to say if 3 out of 3 are eliminated, and the only reason we're going to have one going through in the next one is because France plays Sweden, so someone has to go through? What are they going to say about? And also, it's not like it's Turkey, Bosnia, like the Czechia getting eliminated. We're talking about Germany, Netherlands, and a very good Norwegian team getting eliminated.
Yeah. No, 3 very good teams getting eliminated. It's not like Switzerland or Austria, who could also both get eliminated as well.
Austria will, because they play Spain, I think.
Yes.
Who does Switzerland play? It's not a good team, is it? I don't think so.
Switzerland plays Algeria.
I think they should win it. Yeah, they should.
Yeah.
But then they play Colombia after. I don't think they beat Colombia, not the Swiss team.
No, I don't think so. Portugal, Croatia means one. So even in Spain, Austria, Portugal, Croatia, that means 2 Euro teams are going home in those 2 games. France, Sweden is another one. So 3 more Euro teams are definitely going home.
Dude, it looks like Paquetá is out of the World Cup.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Injured by Casemiro.
I believe so. Was that play?
That's insane. Can you imagine? You're injured by your own teammate who's also looking like shit.
Well, didn't you see that he almost injured Endrick at practice too?
Oh my God.
Like, why are we having this guy here? Why is he here?
No, not a penalty. Never a penalty.
Dude, it's all lining up for Brazil having to play Neymar at some point. Everyone's getting injured. Rodrigo, Estevão, now Paquetá. Like, it's going to get to a point, it's like, okay, Neymar, you're going to have to play now.
Let me put the score back up here. 1-1, guys. Casemiro equals Cambodian spy.
Dude, the worst thing is everyone in Brazil's saying, and they're like, he's so slow. What's going on here? And why is Ancelotti playing him?
Yeah, that's a huge hole in that midfield. It's a huge hole.
I think Ancelotti thinks it's still like 2020 20 Casemiro that he coached, 2021.
But who would you replace him with off the bench?
I told you, Danilo, the midfielder. Not the right back, the midfielder. The one that came in super late in the game.
Yeah.
With dreads. He's athletic enough that he can play that role. He's also goal dangerous. I would put him. And honestly, dude, Fabinho is also old, but he's looked better than Casemiro every time he goes in.
Yeah.
He's skinny at least. He can move still. Casemiro's a little heavy. Casemiro, someone's like, Casemiro should be rested. He's clearly pregnant.
It was Neymar all along plotting from behind the scenes. Neymar paid him to injure Paquetá just so he could play. He's like, listen, Casemiro, I'll give you a mansion in Rio. Just injure Paquetá during the game. Didn't he also try to injure Danilo, the left back? Or the right back? I'm sorry.
He hit someone very hard. I think it was Cunha.
He hit someone else really hard during the game.
No, and the funny thing is, like, he's so big and heavy that he hit the guy. The guy flew away, and Casemiro was just jogging still. It's like nothing happened to him.
At least do that to the opposing team. Doing it to
he should have done that to the Japanese player when he scored.
The guy who scored. I know. Oh, it was Cunha. That's who it was. It was Cunha.
He almost killed Cunha in the game.
Almost killed Cunha. All their attackers. That's what it is. He's trying to get Neymar on the field. It's Cunha and Paquetá.
He just asks Neymar, it's like, so who do you want today? It's like, get Paquetá and Cunha today. Watch him like try to take out Vini. You're like, fuck.
Oh my God. Yeah, his only job against whoever wins this game. Don't worry about the game so much. Just take care of Vini.
They're saying which Danilo? Danilo Santos, the midfielder from Botafogo that I talked about. Not Danilo, the fullback. He's not good enough. He actually was culpable in the goal they conceded.
Yes, he gave it away.
It was the two old guys.
Well, also, it wasn't just he was injuring his own guys. He didn't track his player. He was jogging next to the guy who scored. I forget his name. But then he was also playing 1-2s with the Japanese players around his own box. He's like Diego Tack.
Oh my God. Yeah, same thing as Diego. He was doing give and goes with it. He was like Jesus Ferreira against the Dutch.
It's just that has to be one of the worst all-time World Cup performances from a national team player. Because I know Shaq Moore was bad, but he got a few minutes here and there. Ferreira actually got a full 45.
Dude, the worst part is like, the thing is Casemiro scored. I'm like, and then people are like, that's why he's there, because he scored. Then put him as a center forward then. Get him out of the midfield. Just put him as a center forward. He can't be in the midfield. His job is to protect the back line and progress the ball forward. He did neither of that. He didn't protect the back line and he couldn't connect the pass.
Shaq Moore, our best 1v1 defender, according to Brian McBride.
Yeah, he did say that.
Insane. Imagine you have Dest there, you have Weah there, you have Scally there, you have Anthony Robinson there. And he's like, no, guys, Shaq Moore is our best 1v1 defender. My God. You should be banned from talking about the game once you say something like that.
Well, that guy was in charge of U.S. soccer there, one of the directors.
Yeah, he was the GM for the men's team. Best friends with Greg. Yeah, Amado's fine. Amad Diallo's fine. 8 minutes, guys. 8 minutes, or we're going into extra time yet again. Man, how many penalty shootouts they're going to be this World Cup? What if there's a record? There's like 20 penalty shootouts in the knockouts. We've already had 2.
Half of the game so far.
Yeah, half the games.
And I mean,
Brazil. And it's been tight games, right? Brazil 2-1, Canada 1-0. Canada also scored in the last minute.
Oh, yeah. You saw that Fabio went viral, right? Everyone's using his clip. He's like the Paraguay.
Yeah, that's like a GIF now. That's going to be a GIF.
Yeah. Ivory Coast kind of just gave up on playing after they scored.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to just hold off the defense and take it into extra time.
Which I don't get why. They were creating a few chances here and there. They should have kept going.
Should keep going, yeah. They're pulling a Japan.
I will never understand that. That is the big difference of like winning teams and losing teams. Like I doubt a team like France, Spain, Brazil, Argentina will just like, let's try to take it to extra time. They're going to try to win it in regular time.
Watch, Haaland scores the winner in the last minute.
It might happen. They're inviting Norway to attack them.
Yeah.
They're begging for it. The one thing, Pete, is I might have to leave the stream when it ends and come back. I have a meeting at 3:20-ish.
Yeah, that's fine.
Which I scheduled because I thought the game would be over.
Yeah. This World Cup is teaching us. It's definitely, I mean, it's not definitely going to extra time. But it could. It's likely going to extra time. Unless Norway scores here, Ivory Coast are sitting so deep. Dude, I'm serious. My boss just let me go. I'm lost. Oh, Air Ducky, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Sorry,
That
dude.
always sucks getting fired.
What do you
But
work with? Maybe
yeah,
if you
what do you work with? I'm sure you can
maybe you
find
can
another
help in the
job.
chat.
Oh, Haaland! Haaland scored.
There you go.
2-1. Erling Haaland scored. Oh my God. Erling Haaland. He tapped that into the net. It was so soft. Oh no. Erling Haaland scores the winner for Norway. Oh, that's his dad. They just dang. Erling Haaland with the winner for Norway.
Not over yet, but yeah.
I mean, 5 minutes. But
Plus
that's the
added
problem.
time.
Ivory
10
Coast,
minutes.
exactly what you said. They scored and then they just sat back and invited pressure. Great little cutback. No, how do you not mark Haaland in the 6-yard box? 3 guys on the gentleman with the ball, and Haaland completely unmarked.
Well, they were begging for it, right? Like you score a goal and then you just sit back like that and it's like, go Norway.
Yeah.
And then you leave Erling Haaland wide open in the box. The one guy
That's
you shouldn't
insane.
leave wide open in the box.
Yeah. All right. Erling Braut Haaland with the winner, 2-1. What's the deal with Braut? That's his middle name? Yeah, I guess. Braut is his middle name. Erling Braut Haaland.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a free kick. For
He
sure.
scored in 13 straight competitive matches.
Dang. What just happened is what I noticed the USA does a lot, says Incredible Stan. Enough defenders in the box, but they all press the same person and leave someone unmarked. Yeah, no, we did that against Turkey for the last goal. That guy just showed up at the far post, completely unmarked. Completely unmarked. Our collective defending is still very bad, guys. Very bad. Also, if the guy you're leaving unmarked is Erling Braut Haaland, like you got to be crazy to do that.
Yeah, basically Norway, to kill off their offense, you have to get Odegaard and Haaland out of the game.
Yeah.
Dude, did you see this? So people were asking us yesterday, why doesn't Ancelotti like Endrick or something? For example, look at what happened yesterday. Endrick took Ancelotti's gum and started giving it to all the players.
What?
There's a video of it.
Oh my God. How stupid.
And Ancelotti loves his gum right during game.
Yeah, yeah. Endrick, come on, man. Stealing the coach's gum. Maybe that's what John Brooks did to Greg. Or maybe John Brooks showed up with better kicks than Greg one day and he was like, that's it, you're out. All right, 1 minute plus added time. Can Norway hold on?
If Haaland played for a better national team, not that Norway's bad, but a better national team that he would have played maybe already one World Cup and now, he would go for the record. Dude has already 5 goals.
Nobody makes the run. Haaland puts it across the 6-yard box and nobody runs. Someone goes, John Brooks yawned while Greg was talking about Wolves or whatever. Wolves. Wolves would have been better than African dogs. Wolves also hunt in packs. Also, wolves is a lot more American. Also, I went to that Cincinnati zoo, Tack. I saw those African dogs. They were snapping the whole time, sound asleep. And I was like, no wonder the team looked so bad in that game.
That's what
Guys,
Greg
gotta
wanted
be
us
like
to
the African
replicate.
dogs. The Jets like, okay, that means we sleep.
Oh, okay. Okay. Look at the Ivory Coast. Nope,
Watch
nothing on.
Ivory Coast equalizes.
I was about to say I'm gonna leave because I want to record a short before the meeting, and I also don't want to spoil it because I'm a little bit ahead of you, so you can close the stream.
Okay,
I'm gonna go here, Pete. See you tomorrow,
sounds good.
guys.
I'll
Yeah,
see you tomorrow, guys.
I'll see everyone tonight, but Pete, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Yeah. All right, 2-1 to Norway. We're in the second minute of added time, the 7 minutes total. Can Norway hold on here, or does Ivory Coast have an equalizer in them? Over the top. Nyland with the fingertip save. And then Muller Wolf clears it. Oh, they're showing the replay. Completely unmarked in the box. Completely unmarked. Wild. How do you give Erling Haaland that much space? All right, Toure coming on for Ivory Coast. Diomande is off. You need a goal and you take off Diomande? Dang. Goal kick for Norway. Hey. I don't know, man. Ivory Coast just doesn't look like scoring right now. Oh, Norway wins it back. Dude, where are you going? All right, Ivory Coast goal kick. Headed down. Norway win it back. Fouled. No, ref says play on. Sangare takes the throw in. On the right, cuts it back. Oh, little 1-2 and an attempted little 1-2, the exact way that Ivory Coast scored. But no, but they win it back. There's a Norway player down. Ref says play on. Oh, almost headed it right to the striker. Ivory Coast outside the box. Fouled. That's a free kick. Might be Ivory Coast's last chance. Oh, little fight happening in the box right now. Yeah, that's definitely a foul by Odegaard. And Sangare bodies up to him. All right, this is Ivory Coast's last chance, probably. We're at 95 minutes and 30 seconds. It's not, you could score from this distance. Yeah, it's very doable to score from this distance. Shot! Oh, save by Nyland. That's a very good save by Nyland. Oh, okay, they still have a corner. Ivory Coast still have a corner here. Oh, excellent fingertip save. Excellent fingertip save. Whoo! That was going in the top corner. Wow. All right, this is it for Ivory Coast. They've got a corner. Flicked on. Flicked away. Ivory Coast still have it. Oscar Bob trying to win it back. Ref says no. Wearing my sombrero and nothing else tonight. Wait, are you supporting El Tree? Are you supporting El Tree, Spicy Jeff? What a save, Nyland. What a save. All right. Ivory Coast. They've got 15 seconds. 15 seconds, maybe an extra minute or so for the stoppages. Ivory Coast down the right. Ooh, can Toure beat him? Good defending. Good defending there. Corner. Last chance. This is it for Ivory Coast. Last chance. Ahmad's going to take it. This is it. It's now or never, Ivory Coast. Now or never. Oh, the goalies come up. Fofana's come up. Imagine if they score last minute and now we have to go into extra time. Oh! Oh! Oh no, it wasn't on target. They still have it in the box. Ref's going to blow the whistle anytime now. They're already 40 seconds over. Game over. Norway wins 2-1. Norway wins 2-1. Erling Braut Haaland with the winning goal. Ivory Coast played bravely but stupidly after they equalized. They just went and sat back. Norway will go through to the quarterfinal. 2 out of 2 African teams are already gone. Oh no, Morocco, sorry. 2 out of 3 African teams are gone from the World Cup in this round. Only 1 out of 3 have made it through, and 1 out of 3 UEFA teams have made it through. Nyland coming up really clutch with that last-minute save. Thanks for hanging, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button. Check out the Patreon if you want. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. We're probably going to do England versus DR Congo tomorrow. England, Dr. Congo tomorrow. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.